Hello everybody and welcome to Higurashi When They Cry Go episode. The Go was capitals in capitals, but I don't want to disturb the neighbors too much, and also peek the microphone. That would be bad. More the second one, honestly. Screw the neighbors. Anyway, episode review, episode 9. We kicked off another new arc. I like this arc. You know, I think I mentioned before that Satoko was one of my favorite characters originally, basically because everyone else was a flipping psychopath. So I was like, okay, well Satoko hasn't done anything wrong, so she's alright. But no, I really like this arc. I like the dynamic it brings out. I'm looking forward to seeing how it changes, because I'm thinking about it. I can't think of too many ways it could change, honestly. Rika didn't really do anything in this week's episode, so it's basically the same this week anyway. We had Creepy Irie returning, which is such a weird thing. A weird old thing it is. Anyway, let's crack on with the episode and see how everything went down and do this thing. We open up the episode with this blonde guy. I think no one will be offended if I call him a little bit large. He is basically what he is. We later find out, so I guess I'll say now. He's Satoko's uncle, Teppei, and he is, if you couldn't tell, an asshole. Like a really big asshole. He's a horrid person. Terrible human being, I think is a good way to put it. He gets all mad at this lady that goes to complain about it. It's like, I've had some bad smell around here, some complaints. And he's like, get lost, lady. I'll kill you, bitch. And she's like, okay, I'm going to run away then. He's just a very unlikable person, is the long and short of that bit. Back to the gang, the main gang, so to speak. They're all looking at lunches and stuff and like, oh, look at what everyone's lunch is. It's very nice. It's great. What was Keiichi eating? They didn't even show his lunch. Presumably his ma made it because, I mean, we saw his cooking ability later on. I don't think there's any chance in hell that he made it. Keiichi then taunts Satoko with broccoli and cauliflower, which, I mean, if you've seen the original, that hits different now. When he asked that, I was like, Keiichi, why are you bringing back those memories? What are you doing, man? Leave the memories alone. Keiichi then's like, I might suck at cooking, but I got to at least be better than Satoko, because I'm not gonna. Satoko's underplaying her cooking skills. She's like, I'm not as good as Rika, which Keiichi takes to mean you're awful, which is, I mean, Rika's really good as well. So, you know, Satoko being slightly below Rika, not bad, but that's not how they sort of worded it. They made her sound like she was awful when she wasn't. Mion says like, okay, you're a better cook than Satoko, huh? Prove it, man. Tomorrow, cooking battle. And Keiichi is just like, challenge accepted. Well, he's not. He's looking a bit perturbed, but he gets taunted into it, I think, by Satoko and Mion. Probably everyone taunts him into it, if we're being honest. He's very easily baitable? Let's go with that. He's a baitable guy. Is old Keiichi. So the battle is on for tomorrow, I suppose. I guess Keiichi's master plan was to very quickly learn how to cook from his parents, but sucks for you, Keiichi, because your parents are not in town right now. They all have to leave for work, which is just the rotten timing for Keiichi there. So he's like, okay, well, I've got a cookbook and I've got an oven, so therefore I can make a 5-course gourmet 5-star meal, right? No, he creates an inferno, a fiery blaze. Can you actually, if you like mess up cooking that bad, can you actually make fire like that? Because like I suck at cooking, but I never cook anything super, you know, that I need to go in. It's usually just, I'm gonna shove some flipping burgers in the thing and back in an hour and it'll be cooked. You know, I don't do any like proper cooking, so to speak. But yeah, can you actually make a big old fire like that? Is what I'm trying to say. Satoko dropkicks him because she's like, what the hell are you gonna do? You're gonna blow your house up. And then he's like, Rika's there as well also. He's like, that's breaking and entering. You trespassers. Arrest them. And then Satoko's just like, bruh, you would have burnt your house down. Like, arsony. Arrest him. And he's like, I wasn't that close, was I? And she's like, yeah, you were. And he's like, well, crap, that's not good. She then decides, all right, out of the kitchen, Keiichi. You cannot be trusted. And starts cooking food for themselves, for all three of them. Rika's like, guess we're having food here tonight. Why did they even go round in the first place? Like, I think Satoko said she was going to check on, see if Keiichi's skills were as good as he was saying. But I guess he just didn't lock the door. That's a very Keiichi move. Other than that one time he did when Rain appeared through. No, it's a very Keiichi move to not lock the door, I would say. While she's cooking, Rika is in the other room talking with Keiichi and is talking about how Satoko had a brother called Satoshi and sort of implies he's not around before. I feel like they brought up Satoshi way later in this show than in the original. I feel like in Arc 1 they at least mentioned him, or he was not mentioned, but he was definitely hinted at because of the bat. But I want to say they definitely brought him up before now in the original. I could be wrong though. I can't actually remember. My brain doesn't work properly. But yeah, we finally learn that Satoko had a brother, and that is important information. They all sit at the table for dinner, and it's a very nice thing. It's like a family. He eats the food, and he straight up admits, "Yep, Satoko, you're a way better cook than me. I am in awe of your great mad cooking skills." And she gets all tsundere about it, which is like, of course it came from me, Baka. It's not like that makes me happy or anything, Baka. Rika brings up Satoshi at the table, just sort of like, yeah, whatever, And I remember her doing that in the original, unless I'm remembering wrong. And then they talk about him for a bit, and then they make... I didn't even mention this at the beginning, I should have. So, the translation, right, for Nini? Why is it Big Brother? Why is that? Like, I get they're trying to make it sound childish, but Big Brother ain't childish, that sounds gangster. Like, I'm just imagining Satoko as a gangster. Like, no. For me, there are some things that you shouldn't translate, and Nini, if this is what they came up with, that's definitely one of them, I know they probably had to do something, but, yeah. In my opinion, there are some things, like Oni-chan and, Senpai, some things should not be translated, but maybe that's just because I've been watching anime for long enough now that I know those words. Obviously, if it came up in a, first-time watcher, they'd be like, what the hell's a Nini? And then I guess then they'd look it up. It's not too hard, right? Or they'd figure it out. It's not too hard. My point is, Big Brother is a stupid thing, and then later on, I'm not going to bring it up late, I probably will, but Nene is Big Shishta, like that, which at least sounds a little bit more kiddie, like juvenile, but it's still dumb, and I don't like it. Just leave it as Nene. What was I saying? I forgot. I completely derailed my own point of conversation because of the translation. Satoshi ran away from home. That's what we learned. We learned that Satoshi ran away from home, and Satoko's all like, someday he'll come back. And then Keiichi gives Satoko a big old head pat. A lot of head pats. There's a lot of head pats in this week's episode. I've noted down quite a few, because head pats are always a good thing. She's all sun again, because she's like, I don't call him Nini. I'm an adult, damn it. Nini. That's another thing. I'm not gonna say Big Brother. I'm gonna say Nini. So, sorry. As fun as it would be to hear me in all my clear gangsterness say Big Brother. No, I'm just gonna say Nini. That's cool. They all head out. Rika and Satoko, I said Satoshi, get on their bikes to go home and everything. And then Rika is like, Keiichi, A+. You did good. You can play Satoshi's role. Basically, Keiichi, your Big Brother, so to speak. And yeah, Big Brother, man. It's one of the few times where I'm going to call it a bad translation. I mean, it's technically correct in inverted commas, but it's bad. It's stupid, I see it, I'm like, that's a funny, just change it back to Nini next week, please. Let's just do that. Let's pretend this didn't happen. The next day, I guess, Keiichi and Satoko are out shopping. He dragged her out shopping because his parents, still not back and everything. He's not good at shopping. They actually act more like a married couple, I think, because he's like, let's get this, and she's like, for goodness sake, Keiichi, you don't know anything about sales. You're trying to feed a whole family, and it's like, I really like their dynamic. I don't know if that's just me. They're like sort of big brother, little sister, but not quite in a way. Their dynamic, and I don't explain it very well. It's not full-on sibling relationship. It's like sibling with a hint of Alabama about it. Let's just go with that. I've derailed myself again. she's gonna make food again for him, and she does. It's very nice. More head pats all around on the bike ride home. Very nice. While eating, he's eating the food. She didn't make any for herself. I guess she's eating with Rika later. Makes some sense. She gets all mad because Keiichi didn't wash his hands. The devil! Did you not go to cooking class at school, Keiichi? The first thing they teach you, always wash your hands. We had to go cooking class. It was like part of like year 9, 8, 7, 8, 9, which is 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade for those who don't UK like me. Yeah, we had to do cooking. I wasn't very good at it. I was really bad at it, in fact. But as I've said earlier, but hey, cooking, it's pretty important. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, so he goes to wash his hands because she gets all annoyed. Turns out, Admiral Akbar, it is a trap. She set up this tripwire with some pots and pans, which definitely would have at least given him a minor concussion if it had hit him on the head properly. But no, instead it just bruised all his back. So it's fine. And she does a ho 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 ho. I can't do it because I'm bad at voices. My voice cannot go that high. He says after though, he's like, "Geez, Satoko, it's nice to see that she is still the prankster as well as being, best little sister." He says it's basically, it's nice, I'm an only child, it's nice having a little sister and all that. And then she gets all blushy again. She's about to offer to cook him food all the time while his parents aren't there. But then a phone call happens, and his parents call to say, "Hey, we'll be back early." So first of all, they screwed him over by leaving, and then they screwed him over, and I guess more Satoko over, by coming back. Like, Keiichi's parents are the true villains. Change my mind. I guess this is the next day or a few days later. I actually missed the date if it showed up. He gets a phone call from Reina. It's an emergency. There's a fight going down. Satoko is in grave danger. So Keiichi grabs the nearest weapon, which just so happens to be a golf club, and hops on his bike and starts screaming. He's like, "Satoko, I will come save you!" Turns out it's not a fight at all. It's like a baseball game or something. Keiichi is a bit very embarrassed. I think that's a good way to put it. A bit very embarrassed. Because, he jumped in with a baseball, not even a baseball bat, not even the right sport, a golf club. And everyone was staring at him like, who the hell's this guy? But no, he's, I guess, been brought in to even up the numbers, maybe? I don't really know. But it doesn't matter because Satoko wins the game without help even being needed. Didn't they use Keiichi in the original? Didn't he actually get the bat? I can't remember. But in this one, he didn't. Because Satoko is too strong, I guess. Coach Irie, he's got to do a barbecue now, and then Rika gives him a head pat, because head pats all around. Take a shot for every head pat. And I think this was the last one, but still important. The barbecue kicks off and the girls are all eating and, having a good old fun time. Keiichi meets Coach Irie, who I believe also runs the clinic. It's called the Irie Clinic. It's not a spoiler. They've said it before. Irie runs the clinic. He wants to marry Satoko. I've never liked this side of Irie. I like the hey, he likes her because she must be protect. But then he's like, yeah, I want to marry that one and put her in a maid outfit. And Keiichi's just there like, the hell you? What? How old are you, man? You creep ass. Like FBI, that one. Arrest that man. Satoshi was in the baseball team, we learn as well, before he left. 3 years ago, their parents died. They fell off a cliff, which is less than ideal. He wants to adopt Satoko, and after saying he wants to marry her, he's like, yeah, legal issues, I can't adopt her. I'm like, bro, you just said you want to marry her. Yes, you said when she's older. But still, you creep Irie. Irie's 90% an alright dude, and then he does that. And it's like, Irie, why you do this? Why you ruin yourself? Well, maybe that's just me. If you think he's a funny guy, good for you, I guess. They say yeah, I want her to smile too. And it's like, want her to keep on smiling. I'm sure nothing bad will ever happen. Then Shion outs Irie being a creep ass, because she's like, he wants to put her in a maid outfit. And oh yeah, Shion's there. I didn't mention that. I guess in this timeline, Keiichi knows Shion. I don't think they explain how, but I don't think it's too important really. Yeah, she's the manager of the baseball team, the Phantom Manager, she calls herself, which is okay. It's also very weird because she like showed up, made fun of Irie, and then was like, "I'm gonna leave now, bye." And it's like, get some food at least, Shion. Get a sausage, the edible, the meat, the pork. You know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say without making it sound lewd, guys. You got me. Yeah, Shion also says like, hey, I want to be in on your promise too, to keep her smiling. I want to know that too because I am Nene, or not Nene. I'm sorry, Big Shishta. I can't even do it. I can't even like do it with my mouth. It doesn't make that noise. She's Nene, and then Satoko is all like, she goes to hug her and she's like, Shion, get off of me, damn it. She's all like, I'm a tsundere, damn it. Stop hugging me. Don't like no hugs. Stop it. Packing up at the barbecue now. Satoko. I almost said Satoshi again. That's a thing that's going to happen. People's names gotta stop being so similar. Satoko has already left to get food for dinner because she has a big brain. Big brain is Satoko. Keiichi hears from some just kids, I think. I don't remember if they were important or not. Probably not. That, hey, Oyashiro-sama's curse got Satoshi last year. And he's like, oh, that's not what I was told. He asks Mion and Reina about it, and Mion is like, oh, he just transferred to another school. And he's like, oh, Soda, you're lying to me, bitch. I heard that Oyashiro-sama's curse. And Mion is like doing the, like, nervous eye look, and she's like, manga! I'm gonna lend you manga. You get over here so I can give you some manga, goddammit. So she tells him about it. Reina leaves and she had this spooky, well, you don't see her face, it's got the whole shadows thing. Presumably, Reina doesn't like talking about it either. But yeah, Satoko's parents were all for the dam being built, it turns out. So people said that angered Oyashiro-sama. That's why they died mysteriously. And then Satoshi got whisked away, so to speak, they think. Because there's no evidence, but it's like circumstantial evidence, I guess. Everyone believes in this Oyashiro-sama. And they angered the village gods, so they get murdered and or yeeted off to who knows where, basically. Mion then says, we don't talk about it because, Satoko, that small child, we don't want her to have a breakdown, basically. We don't want to keep reminding her, oh, hey, you got no parents and your brother left you. And it's like, yeah, that's fair. I think that's very fair, At the end, Satoko is, well, happy days are over for her. Teppei takes her into the house to basically be a slave. I don't know, I guess he just picked her up off the street and was like, you are mine now, you clean this place. And that was where we ended the episode. Hopefully things work out for Satoko. Hopefully things don't go too bad. Keiichi playing the big brother role, he's going to do big brother things. Head pats, fist fight. Oh, I hope he fist fights Teppei. I forget exactly how this plays. I remember the end of how it plays out, but hey, could be different. In fact, it probably will be different, at least a little bit. So that's exciting. We got to see how though. We got to see how. That's also the exciting thing. Yeah, I said I like this arc. I've run out of things to say if I'm being honest. But in short, translations: don't have Big Brother, don't have Big Sister. Leave it as Nini and Nene. Fine. Looking forward to seeing what happens next. But for right now, what was my favourite part of this week's episode? I've already mentioned it, so it shouldn't be too hard to figure out. My favourite part, to wrap this up quite quick, so we've been going a while, don't know how long this is going to end up being, but hey, my favourite part is the Satoko and Keiichi, dynamic they got going on. Like I said before, it's like a sibling relationship, but not quite. There's a little bit of more warmth there, and I like it. It's nice. Like, Keiichi, protect Satoko. That is your duty. That is your mission. Should you choose to accept it, you don't have a choice. You will accept it. Protect the lolly. Protect. Do not elude the lolly. She must be protect. And head pats. Head pats a lot. What am I saying? This is turned into a nightmare at the end here. Thank you everybody for watching this review. Let me know what you think is going to happen. I'm always excited to see it. Don't think this episode differed too much. It might have been like condensed a little bit, but I don't think it was too different, so to speak. We'll have to see what Rika does to mess things up this time, because she's not doing very well so far in her attempts to get back on track. So, yeah. Anyway, I will see you next week for another episode of this. Take care. Subscribe, comment, and all that other good stuff. And bye, guys.